Okay, so here's how the elimination in my eyes is gonna go.
Okay.
There's going to be 2 girls left as bottoms.
Yes.
There's going to be 2 guys left as bottoms.
Okay.
The Islanders are going to have to vote for it. It might be like girls vote for the girls or guys vote for the girls, whoever, which one. I think they might save Huda again. I don't know. But if
Hannah not saving Huda.
Nah, she's not. But they're going to have to come to a consensus. They're going to have to like talk amongst each other and come to one vote.
Yeah.
And then, because I think it's going to be like the elimination that they did with Rob.
Yeah.
But what was her name? Andrea? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But that happened after Casa, I believe.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. No, it didn't. I don't remember.
Andrea didn't go to Casa.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I think the girls are have to going to vote for like whichever girl, or the guys are gonna have to go vote for whichever guy. And it feels like they might just like send Amaya and Austin home.
We're gonna see. Well, like.
I'm Nani.
And I'm Ant.
Join us on Law and Order as we unpack the hottest topics, trending lawsuits, and media buzz.
Take a listen as we cut through the noise to reveal fact, what's really going on.
Tune in for sharp insights and a fresh take on today's stories.
Follow us everywhere for your dose of lore.
As you should.
The loriest lore.
Lore.
Of the lore.
Of a it's lore.
Lore.
Hi.
Hey.
We're
back. This episode is gonna come out a week later. Yeah. Like we're essentially like kind of redoing the schedule. Mm-hmm. Life is lifing. Yeah. So here we are.
Life is lifing. We are just.
It's been a lot of things going on in DC right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was out at the music festival, and we didn't have any service. So as soon as we got back to our cars,
it's like war.
We were like, "Whoa!"
I just made it too short.
What the fuck are you doing down there? Yeah, it's a lot going on. The whole June 4th. Were we supposed to film that week?
Yeah.
We were?
Yeah. That Sunday. What are you talking about? I'm talking about last Sunday we were supposed to film.
We were supposed to film last Sunday?
Yeah, because remember we moved it because of the Trump stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Like, so the episode's supposed to come out in 2 days, but it'll come out next week.
Yeah. This week has felt so long. I think the last 2 weeks have just felt like so long.
Forever.
Like, this has been the longest, like, 2 weeks in between, like, the last time that we filmed.
Yeah.
Like, or technically 3 weeks now.
And I've been so busy with work. Like, that week, all of our chapters flew out and we had to do, like, presentations and stuff. And then last week, we were in Atlanta and I had for a symposium and I had to give like multiple presentations and it was just like, I'm so drained. Like my goal for the rest of the summer, like July, oh my gosh. Is that a sign? But yeah, for July and August, like have fun, enjoy this newlywed
phase.
Yeah, newlywed phase, newlywed summer, like just go out, like go on more dates. Cause we've just been so busy. Like the wedding was in May and then June was just a whole bunch of work stuff. So July and August, like, we up.
I feel like I've been fatigued because like I hate my job so much. And I feel like I wake up in like a fight or flight, just like immediately the moment that my alarm goes off, I'm in like fight or flight mode. And then like, it's like, fuck, I need the money. So I just gotta fight. So it's just like all day I'm fighting. By the time I get home, I'm in like a functional freeze.
Yeah.
Just from like feeling stressed all day. Like literally the only thing that keeps me going through the day while I'm at work is just staring at the time.
And that makes it go slower. Or they feel like
it does, but it doesn't because I get multiple breaks at work.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
It's just so terrible. I can't wait to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So we're going to take a break from talking about all the serious and just emotionally draining stuff that's going on with like the Diddy case and like the world is so much right now that, you know, Love Island is a great escape.
It really
for
is.
The summer.
Because like I just feel, I remember when we were talking about the how I can't remember what we were talking about. It was like something that you had did while you were in California in law school. You did something about like a clinic or something.
Yeah, the domestic violence clinic.
Yes, and you're talking about just how fatigued that you could tell that they were fatigued. That's how I was starting to feel like after the last episode, because I'm like, this is so repetitive. Okay.
Yeah.
Diddy abused Cassie.
And everybody saw it.
And he's also just a freaky ass nigga. And it was just like,
he stays inside.
Right. So instead, after like the trial concludes, maybe before or not before the verdict comes back, depending on how long it takes the jury.
Yeah.
We're going to sum up everything then.
Yeah.
Or sum up the rest of
at this point, it's just like,
yeah, it's a lot, and it's getting exhausting, and like it's really hard to talk about. It really, really is. It does take a toll.
Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about Love Island.
Yes, now we're gonna talk about Love Island.
We came here for love. Also, they make them do such cringy stuff, like when they have to do those like intro scenes when they're like they're like dancing with a whole bunch of people.
Mind you, you probably can't hear the music.
Oh my gosh.
Mind you, you probably can't.
Ace was loving it when his part came on. He's a dancer. He's a Leo.
That's what he does.
He is a Leo
he
for
also just,
sure.
Like, dances. That's
he love that stuff. So let's start with, the one, it's like a blip in time at this point. Like, was she even on the show?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We actually are not starting with that one, technically.
Oh.
Technically, the first person, Yelissa.
Oh.
So we were about to talk about Bill Dasher, but then she said it's a blip in time. And I'm like, a blip in time?
Yeah. Yelissa. The Cuban...
Racist.
Yes. Who was on the podcast saying like the N-word. Mm-hmm. And I can say it. I don't have to say N-word. I can say nigga.
Nigga.
This
nigga.
I can say it. And nobody's gonna pull this footage up later and be like, oh my gosh, she said it. Anyway, she came out with like apologies and stuff like that. They snatched her out in the middle of the night. Get out of here, girl. They probably gave her a rowboat. And she get back to the mainland.
And she still be making TikTok.
Yeah, and it's like, that's when it gets cringy. Yeah, like, girl, you got to move on. Yeah. You're, like, the Love Island clout, that well has dried up.
She's not even going to be on the reunion.
Yeah.
Like, what would she do?
I just wonder if she said it in the villa. Because they didn't even talk about her leaving. They were just, like, they glazed over it. Like the Islanders?
Yeah, I honestly did not even know. Like, I didn't hear the voiceover. I think his name is Ian. I didn't even hear him say, and Yelissa has left. I didn't hear that. All I heard was like later in the episode Ace was like, and now I'm single. And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen Yelissa.
Yeah, she's out of there.
And then I checked Twitter, and then everybody on Twitter was like, damn. They just yanked.
And she like did an apology and stuff like that. And it's like, girl, you probably still gonna be using it. I don't know.
Yeah, because one of her friends got on social media and was like, everyone in Miami says it. It's like, that doesn't make it right.
That doesn't make it okay.
And you
see that now.
And you know it doesn't make it okay because you didn't say it in the video.
Exactly. You keep saying the N-word. You saying the N-word like that guy. Did you see the podcast that the Cleopatra girl did? Who had Before Ice Spice? She brought like that Mexican guy on, and he was like he was explaining why he says it and stuff like that. He's like, I fought with them, I hung out with them, I did like black people, and it's like, so that's the reason why you can say it. And it's like, no.
But then what was crazy is I was like, damn, everybody in that room, he kind of like bitched them.
He did. Like, they didn't say nothing.
He said, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
He looked at everybody.
But I also feel like it was only women in the room. So the fact that he said that, I kind of was like...
And he probably had his entourage there. So it's just like...
Yeah, it's like
a safety thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like I don't feel no type of way about
but also, why would you invite him on your podcast if he says...
right.
Okay.
Like, you got a problem with it.
But yeah, so she's next. Girl, you're going to have to go back to... What she do? She runs a bar on wheels. That's like her
mobile
job. Yeah, mobile bar. Yeah. So yeah, stick to that because you're out of here.
Yeah,
or you were out of there.
Yeah,
yeah. Belle Dasher.
I love her.
Bella.
I know her black accent was kind of like fucking up everybody for a while, but her accent just sounds like pigeon to me.
She just when she talk, it kind of reminds me of like this one girl that I know and who is black, like her inflections, but she would switch it up. Like, it's like, how do you really talk?
Yeah.
Or is this how you talk? Is just a mixture of all these things?
But I loved about that because I tell you, I love ditzy people. Nick asked her, like, if you were to go back to school, what would you get your degree in? She said the highest. She said the highest degree. Girl, what the hell? What does that mean? He said, what's your favorite thing to do? Or he was like, what do you like to do? Or something like that. And she was like, beach. And then she was like, I love the color blue. I was like, this girl don't got a thought in her head.
Yeah, she was getting on my nerves with the whole like no kissing thing because like Love Island is such a kissy show. Because do you remember when we were talking about like the challenges and how gross oh no, maybe it was X that said that. But basically because the challenges are so gross, that's probably like a way of weeding people out.
No, that was me. I said that.
Oh.
Yeah, I texted
really?
you. I texted you that.
I feel like X said it too.
When we were
Anyway.
we were texting about it as we were watching the show, and I was like, this is disgusting. And I was like, yeah, this is probably how they get so many people not to sign up for the show.
Okay, yeah, both of y'all said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember that now. Yeah, and so I feel like also the kissing, like if you know you don't want to be kissing like that, don't go on that show.
Yeah.
Why are you on the show talking about you not really trying to kiss? I feel like she tried to maybe bring like something new, and it's like, okay, like I'm the person that doesn't kiss, like these are my standards, whatever. But it's like, girl, you out of here. Like, but we're trying to build connections, and I feel like they haven't brought any dudes in that are just like so chaste and all this other stuff. So it's like, okay, he about to be kissing all these other girls, and that like any kind like physical intimacy and like to any degree or the degree of kissing makes you feel closer to someone.
Yeah, but
so I feel like that kind of affects.
I feel like my thing is, I feel like they brought her in maybe to see how far they could take. Because I'm like, why would they cast her?
Yeah.
Because she was very much like, what was she supposed to be like, this evangelical, like, wasn't she kind of like religious for a second?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm like, I'm sure that didn't just like fly past them. I'm sure that like she made it through interviews knowing that she was kind of like gonna be this like good girl, try to keep it all together.
But now we see how far that goes. Because the thing is, some people don't kiss outside of the challenges. So it's possible to like keep the kissing at bay with that. But if you're like nothing, and then it's like she chose to kiss. So it's like what was like? There wasn't some, I feel like, big decision. Like, okay, like
I feel like maybe she got. I feel like the only reason that Beldasha did start kissing is because she really wanted like Nick to like her at that point.
And it's like, oh, okay, like what the only difference between us is.
Right. But if it's like now that you're gonna compromise your morals, then it's kind of like, then like,
did they exist in the first place? Like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that whole love triangle, I'm glad like it was over. I also feel like Nick, because him and Sierra got into it because he didn't tell her like he kissed Beldasha before that. But if you watch it, when Sierra kisses him, he's low-key trying to dodge the kiss because he just kissed Bella. But if you see it, like she kind of like straddles him and gets on top of him and like kiss. And I don't think he needed to tell her about that kiss. Like if I'm exploring, I don't need to tell you every detail of our conversations and if we kiss. Like I remember somebody saying that like it's kind of annoying on Love Island. Well, I don't know if annoying is the right word, but it's like, why are we talking about other connections instead of talking about our connection? Like, let's keep building our connection instead of you want to know what I did with everybody else. Yeah, especially if you know we're still open.
But I feel like because it's that thing of like leaving or whatever, or like being eliminated. Because the point that I feel like an element that exists in Love Island is to just stay there. Because like even if like you're not my person, I could at least wait for my next person to come in.
And you're winning money at the end of the show. Like
right. So if you are building now it happened to me.
Oh, pass off.
Now, if you're building a connection with somebody else or like out of nowhere, like you just have this amazing connection with somebody. Because remember, like Beldasha and Nick didn't really have anything because, I mean, Nick kind of like liked her, but he wasn't really like too like close on her. He was like, oh, I really like Sierra. And it's all of a sudden that like now you kiss this girl and now you're like going back and forth. Now it's 50-50. I feel like that is something I would want to know. Because then give me the opportunity to go and talk to somebody else. So like I'm not just putting all my eggs in one basket. Like don't let me just think that it's just that you are only just about me. If we're gonna be open, we're gonna be open. If you're gonna be 50-50 with somebody else, let me be 50-50 with somebody else.
I feel like the concept of being open is I think they're too loosey-goosey with it. Like if I'm coming from the understanding, like if we're saying we're open, assume. Not assume, but like don't assume I'm doing anything exclusive because we said that we're open.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm like talking to, you see me pulling this person for chats, like you see all the stuff. I'm just saying like specifically letting you know every time we kiss.
I feel like
I don't like that.
I feel like
I think that's necessary.
I feel like at this point, being open is being used a little like loosey-goosey. Because it's like now everybody's practically like coupled up and low-key closed off because nobody wants to step on their friend's toes.
Exactly.
But as in like before when it was like the first week there, it was just like everybody's open. Everybody's just like exploring, getting to know each other. Like this is what I'm literally just, it's a mingle. It's a mix and mingle at this point. Like it really isn't the fact that like, oh, we're open. I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like I literally don't even know you. But now it feels like, okay, now we're still open. Like, yeah, I sleep in the bed with you every night. If there's a recoupling, I'm still gonna choose you. But I'm still gonna get to know these other people just in case, like, I do have something there with them. That is what open feels like to me. Before, when they was doing all of that, that was just like, y'all just mix and mingling.
Yeah, I feel like because people like the friendships are being created and stuff. And if you like somebody, you're coupled up with someone, and then like your friends try to talk to them. If y'all got into a certain point of being coupled up where it's like, oh, y'all like really into it with each other, I would understand like, yeah, I'm not trying to talk to this person. They really into it with my friend, or even if they're not my friend, it's like they're really into it. But I think Bella just didn't. I don't think she navigated.
That's the first time we've called her Bella.
Yeah, Beldasha. Because what? Because her Instagram is like Isabella or something. So it's like, what did you do? I don't know.
I like Beldasha.
Yeah,
if it's her and her black scent.
But no, like she's really beautiful. Like just looking at her face, I'm just like, this is a beautiful woman. When she started talking stuff, I'm like, all right, get her off my screen. But like just a picture, I'm like, oh, yeah. Like it gives me like the beauty of like Angelina Jolie.
She definitely gives me like Victoria's Secret angel vibes. Yeah. She could definitely be a Victoria's Secret angel.
Yes. Well, maybe she could do that because right now there's nothing. But yeah.
Nick.
You know, I called him Freak Nick.
You know who Nick reminds me of?
Who?
Justin Bieber right before he went black.
Right before?
Like right before Justin Bieber went black. When he had that like cool swag, the stud earrings. And it was like right before he started trying to like do his whole like
Is it before Boyfriend?
It was after Boyfriend.
After Boyfriend. Like after.
Do you remember that one song?
Journals?
Like, yes. It's like, oh. That's when like Justin Bieber was
sure
like black.
As the sun in the sky.
Yeah. That's who Nick kind of reminds me of.
I need you to shine in my life.
Like when
Not
Nick.
just for me. I'm just kidding.
Stop. Like when Nick.
I love Justin Bieber.
Like when Nick was kind of like, I don't know, like with all the tattoos and stuff, it felt like he was going for like 2015 Chris Brown. Like that was his like aesthetic for a while.
Oh yeah. I feel like I wasn't getting it at first, the Nick propaganda. But then as he started like joking and that smile, like I get the Nick propaganda.
I like the Nick propaganda.
Yeah, like but like
if I were to go for a white boy in the villa, it would have to be somebody like Nick that just seems like fun, like just doing anything. Like in that last challenge,
but also not trying to be anything else. Like he white.
Yeah,
he's not trying to not be white.
Because also today is June 22nd, so the last challenge that we've seen is the milk challenge. So anything that has happened before then, we have not. We haven't seen as of this moment. But this episode will come out like a week and a half after.
Yeah,
like,
so it'll be a lot. Like so Casa is coming up.
Monday. Monday is Casa. Casa is Monday. So and I literally texted you that because I was like, oh, this is episode 16. And I was like,
episode 19.
I was like, Casa is Monday. So, but anyway, but like Nick swallowing that milk, I was like, oh my God, you freak.
Yeah, like he was like, I was like, ooh.
And the way that he
But then I remember it was milk and I was like, like I hate milk.
Do you remember when they did the lumberjack challenge and he came out with Olandria like on his shoulder?
Yeah,
and he was smiling?
No. So those moments, and when he took the tea from Sierra after TJ gave it to her. I
still haven't seen that. I gotta go rewatch that.
That was hot. He was like,
the fuck?
Fuck no. I was like, ooh, Nick.
Yeah. I love Nick.
But I also think with Nick, I don't know. Like when it comes to the Huda situation, I feel like he flip-flopped. Like you're on Jeremiah's side, you're not on Jeremiah's side. You're saying you don't have any respect for Jeremiah. And then after Huda like went off that time when she was eavesdropping on them, he was like, okay, yeah, like whatever we need to do to support you. But it's like, I don't know. He goes back and forth. And I saw a TikTok today where a girl was like, she don't think he's a good friend to Jeremiah. We're obviously going to talk about Jeremiah and Huda's situation later. But I do think it is a consequence of, Huda's isolation of Jeremiah working. And how she isolated him from the other islanders, especially the girls and stuff like that, and everybody getting fatigued about their drama. Because when he's like, I honestly I don't feel like hearing that shit. I'm just like, oh, that hurt my feelings.
I kind of disagree because I'm like, for me, I've always understood where Nick is coming from. When he has criticisms, it's we're gonna criticize the two of you honestly, and then at the end of the day, yes, I am, after all of this shit is done, why keep talking about it? I'm done talking about it, because when he was trying to tell Jeremiah, or when Ace and Nick were both trying to tell Jeremiah that love bombing and possessive shit is why she is the way that she is right now. But then okay, she almost got eliminated. You was just so buddy, where the fuck you at? And I understand what you were saying when you were I just want to be left alone. But at the same time, it's just you ain't left this girl alone yet. So now all of a sudden you in a sticky situation and you already know that she gonna explode on you. That's the reason why you don't want to go and deal with that. That's the reason why you don't want to go and deal with that shit. Yes, I do think that Jeremiah also is a little bit avoidance, when he does need to deal with something, he just needs to sit and be quiet. And as someone who does the same thing, I do agree, but I'm also not about to go and talk to everybody else about it. If I need to be quiet about something and just be to myself, I'm gonna be to myself. I'm not gonna just shut out every single person except for the person that almost got sent home, because these people have no idea why Huda has no idea why she just almost got sent home. All she knows is that her couple, the dude that she's been with this entire time, she's now single, left vulnerable, and then he goes to ignore her for the rest of the night. Well, he does try to talk to her at one point, but it's just I'm with Nick. You said you so coupled up, buddy. Go talk to your girl.
So I think the reason why I think that's different, because I understand not wanting to talk to the source of what everything is going on, but wanting to speak with your friends more about it. But I feel even in that situation, I don't think he was super vocal with anyone after that happened. And also I feel it later ended up coming to I don't know, maybe some hypocrisy on Huda's end, because the situation with Hannah, she didn't talk to Hannah about speaking to Pepe, and she's she waited to do it. So it's Jeremiah can't wait to talk to you about this, but you can wait to talk to Hannah about certain situation. But bringing it back to Nick, I just feel Nick, after he would have a conversation with Huda, I feel he would listen to what she's saying and be feel sorry for her, and then go on Jeremiah, when it's no, I don't think I feel we're talking too much about Jeremiah, but we're talking about Nick. I feel Nick is a product of Huda's manipulation tactics working. Because I feel he'll think something in his head. He literally voted her off twice, but it's still going off on Jeremiah about it. I mean, I get duality and things like that, but I just feel for friendship's sake, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Because they still joke around with each other, all this other stuff. I feel the boys have a good group dynamic that exists. But yeah, Nick as a friend and Nick as a somebody to be coupled up with, I feel him and Sierra are. I feel they're different fronts of similar people. I their couple. I'm fine with. I think they'll be fine.
Who, Nick and Sierra?
Yeah, I
love Sierra.
Not in terms of Casa. I feel both of them would bring somebody back after Casa type. But I don't think it would be hard feelings, because seeing Sierra, who she is outside of the village, she just seems
her lifestyle is so boho chic.
Yeah, she's just with the wind.
She's her lifestyle is bohemian. It's not her aesthetic. It really just is her lifestyle. I love her, and I also love that Nick and Sierra are clearly moving at the same pace.
Yeah,
where they both say we're open. And they both kiss other people. They're pulling the new bombshells for chats. They both look engaged. But also
Sierra's a good talker.
But also they just had sex that night.
Yes.
And they're both kind of I really like this. I really like this guy. And it just feels it feels right. It feels they're moving at the exact same pace, but still so into each other.
Yeah. The only time it didn't is when, or it seemed strange, is when I feel Sierra kissed someone, and then something happened where she was like getting jealous at Nick for something, but it's like, girl, you just did this. Do you remember that?
No, Nick took it too far though.
Wait, what are you talking about?
When they did the challenge.
I'm not talking about the milk challenge. I'm talking about something before. Like something happened where Sierra was acting jealous to him. Dang, I'm blanking on it. She was like, I feel like maybe it was in something happened. I'm forgetting.
I feel like maybe you're talking about the milk challenge.
I'm not, because I had this feeling like before. Because what was the challenges before?
The lumberjack,
the kisses, the blindfold kisses. There was.
I think you're thinking about the lumberjack challenge when he went in and maybe kissed Olandria, and then when the door opened, it was like they were like, oh my God, they're actually kissing.
No, it's something else. I'm forgetting about it. Oh well. Because it was something where she was kind of like really acting like jealous towards him, but it's kind of like, girl, something else just happened. I'll remember it later. But yeah, Sierra.
That's it.
Oh, that's it for Sierra?
Yeah, I think so.
Sierra's really good at talking to people. Like how Meg was in the room and she was just like having like, it was like, she wasn't starstruck. She was just flowing with the conversation. I feel like Sierra, she could talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. Like, she was just so calm and collected. And I'm like, girl, if Megan Thee Stallion, I'm like, what?
She was like,
it would take me a second.
I appreciate that so much. Yes. But also, maybe she's not like that big of a fan, so maybe she's not like super starstruck.
I didn't think Iris was a fan.
Yeah.
But
I'm a fan of Megan Thee Stallion, but I don't think I would be like super starstruck to where I couldn't talk. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, Megan. But then like, if she was actually saying something to me directly, I'd be like, oh my God, you're Megan.
Like, I feel like I would have been like Olandria, like, oh my gosh, you know my name. Yeah. But Sierra's like, she was just talking to a friend. I don't know. I just feel like she's really good at like holding conversation. Because even with TJ and stuff, she don't be caring about what people got. She kind of reminds me of Shelly in that way. But it'd be funny when like her and Nick are having a conversation and then Nick will say something and she's like, wow, that's crazy. Just kind of looking at the distance. But I like her. I forget that she was a bombshell. Like, I feel like she just part of the original Islanders.
She came in like the first week, though.
Yeah.
So, is she a bombshell?
I like her. Sierra, you can stay.
I feel like if Nick and Sierra make it to the end, I'm probably going to vote them as my number 2 couple. It depends on how Taylor and Olandria do, which, speaking of Olandria.
Yes.
That's the real people's princess. Yes. That's my girl.
Yes, she
so poised,
so
elegant.
Like she just
so stoic.
Her posture is amazing.
It's insane. Her face is insane.
Oh my goodness.
But I really wish that they would start showing us, because like she's always like, I really like that you stimulate my mind. What the fuck are they talking about? That like she's so mentally stimulated.
Taylor and Olandria are getting the Serena Cordell edit.
Yeah,
definitely.
It just seems like one person isn't that into the, because like, okay, we're going to get into it a little later when it comes to the editing and storyline, but like the Huda and Jeremiah thing, it took up so much space that like
so much.
It wasn't until after the second recoupling and Iris and it Iris was like, what's your favorite movie? And he was like Ponyo or something. Yeah, we're like, right? But then everybody was like, oh my God, we just learned something about Jeremiah. And I'm like, we just learned something about an islander, like period. Yeah. Like, what do we know about Olandria besides the fact that she likes country men? Yeah. We don't know anything about any of these people because
we know that she like day parties, like all that stuff, but it's like,
we're not seeing anything.
Who is she?
Like, I really don't have a lot of thoughts on Olandria besides that she's gorgeous, because we're not seeing anything.
And we see people come to her. We see her give her opinion on things. So we're gathering, but it's like we're gathering nuggets about her personality, but based on how she reacts to other people's information.
Or how people treat her.
Exactly. Like who is she? Like, it's giving like mother of the villa.
Hello.
To be honest. And I don't know if that's a whole like, black thing. I was like, oh, we could just come to you and talk like Huda uses the real parents, right. Taylor and Olandria of the villa to just weep and woe and all that other stuff. But no, the body's crazy. Her mother, she get it from her mama. They look good. I think that she's very, like, as you're saying, like, poised. I feel like she's very intentional on what she does and doesn't say, which we've seen in how she, like, interacts with, like, the other islanders. I feel like in the beginning, a lot of what people were talking about was the fire pit where she kind of said that thing to Huda where it's like, you know, Huda's hyping up Jeremiah and actually putting them down. And she's like, okay, thanks. We don't need that right now.
You can literally hear Shelly in the back go, girl, it's the second day.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
She was like, girl, it's only day 2. Like you can hear Shelly in the back. I'm like, it's not that serious. It's the second day.
Yeah, and I just really don't like how she like vilified her.
Real man.
Yeah,
and then went to go fucking cry.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. And it's like, shut up.
Mind you,
she takes so much space.
At that point, had not told him she had a kid.
And Olandria and Shelly, everybody keeping it secret is better than me. Because if I was a bombshell, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Girl.
Hell
and your baby daddy talking shit about you on the outside. Now what? Now go cry, bitch. Like, no, it's so messy.
Yeah, but Olandria so far, like, I voted for her. Like, she's
me too. That's
she's
my
top
favorite girl.
She's my favorite girl. But it's like
she seems so fun.
Yeah. And just like I can hang out with her.
Yeah, I was just about to say it feels like somebody I can hang out with. Yeah. Like she just feels like a homegirl.
Yeah. I just didn't like all the kissing she had to do. Like Jalen literally I feel like didn't bring out anything in her. Like when he asked her for the kiss after she done kissed everybody, or
and she had said, "I just kissed everybody."
Exactly,
but that's what makes me think that that Jalen didn't watch the show. I think he genuinely was just like, "Okay, I'm coming in as a bombshell. They're telling me that like Olandria is this beautiful girl that loves countrymen and that she's been lacking like physical affection from the person that she's been coupled up with.
He's also seeing. Let me just kiss her."
But that's why I feel like I don't know.
But read the room, like.
But yeah, that's why I'm like, it was just like I just don't think he watched the show or cared too much. He treated like being coupled up with Olandria like it was a job. Like it was just like this is what
like because he didn't try to pull other people for chats. It was just like going straight to her and stuff like that. But I really do like Taylor and Olandria together.
I do.
A lot of people are saying like, oh my gosh, the ones that piss me off the most are like, look at his body language, like he's not attracted to her, like acting like he's just disgusted with being around her. And it's like, y'all are just taking it way too far.
And then also his body language is the same with no matter who he's around. Like I remember when he was talking to Ace and he was like, I could really see myself being with her like long term for real. And he wasn't looking Ace in the eye at all.
Like maybe
he was
he's
like
not an eye contact person.
And then Ace was like, see, that's what happened when you don't like step over your girl. He was looking at the floor going, yep. Like he just seems like avoidant of eye contact.
The way that we could tell, and this is later down the line, but the way we could tell Pepe wasn't messing with Huda and TJ wasn't messing with Huda, that's not how Taylor and Olandria are. Right. Like they be on each other. Like, I don't know. That time they kissed in the photo booth, I don't know. I don't know what that was, and I would like to forget about it because I don't know why they were just doing the pecs, but okay.
Yeah, I do pecs.
Yeah, but also people are talking about the fact that they don't cuddle in bed. Me and my husband don't cuddle in the bed. Like, when we're first going to sleep, we're like, oh, yay. And then we're like, all right, separate.
Yeah, because that's what I was talking about. I was like, damn, but because there was that one night that and she was like, he was so handsy, like I guess like he was rubbing on her, and I'm just like, oh, we haven't seen that.
They ain't show us that.
Like they don't. No, they did.
Oh, when he was being handsy?
Yeah, they showed us. He was like rubbing on her
in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that. But I mean, like the way that they'll show Taylor and Olandria, like when it's in bed, it's like they're usually playing with other couples. Like he was hitting Shelly with the pillow or like something like that. But they didn't show us how they showed Shelly and Ace couple like kissing in the bed, like little smooches and stuff. I feel like they don't show us that with Taylor and Olandria.
If they're doing it, but I was like, damn, like they're not cuddled up.
Okay, Taylor. I think Taylor is just. It's like a little brother, like a cute little kid.
Like, can we stop body shaming Taylor? Yeah, that shit is
that's really mean.
So mean.
Yeah, like,
and it's so clear that he's strong. Cause it's like
he be picking up Olandria.
He be picking her up, one arm running down the stairs. Yes. He be obviously like really lifting. Mind you, no shade to Jeremiah, could not lift a new bombshell up on that barrel because it's just like, okay, he looks really toned, he looks really strong, but like he ain't got it like that.
Ace picked her up. You see that? I was like, dang. Because Jeremiah looks fit. Like, he got a six-pack. But he's thick, too. He got ass. He like, you see him in them shorts? He got an ass on him.
Jeremiah?
Like, yes, Jeremiah. Girl, we're going to watch the episode tonight, so I'll point it out to you. But, like, it go like this. Like,
You
he got a butt.
You gotta pick a code word because your husband's gonna be there.
I think I said it in front of him.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Taylor, like, stop making fun of, stop body shaming him.
Yeah, that's
Is
so
that
weird.
ape for ape, whatever tattoo kind of wild? Yeah, but he's an alpha, so I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
I wonder what his birthday is.
It's like ape shall not kill ape.
Yeah. I wonder what his birthday is. I feel like that would give me more.
Let's look.
Guess, okay, but before you look, what would you think his sign would be? I think he is an earth sign.
He's an earth sign, I think. I want to go Virgo. Let's look. It's on the app.
I kind of want to say Capricorn or Aquarius, but that's not an earth sign.
No, that's an air sign.
Or Aries. So, okay, Capricorn, Aries, Aquarius.
Okay, mine is Virgo, Aries, Libra.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Taylor, were you bad? He's a Gemini.
Well, obviously we know nothing about astrology.
We know nothing.
We don't. Maybe it's like his Venus or something, but I guess we'll figure that out. Wow. Anyway, so yeah, but Taylor seems like he is chill, but he doesn't hide his feelings and like being goofy. Like when he got to tell Huda something, he gonna tell her, like, but he's gentle too with like his approach. And which I feel like Olandria also really appreciates. Cause she said that. She was like, when he was telling her, like,
Should we guess everybody else's signs?
We should as we go through them.
Okay, so wait, let's go back.
Okay. Bella. I wanna say I'm trying to think of
I'm going like Pisces.
Aries or Pisces.
Cancer,
Yeah. Aries, Pisces, Cancer.
Aries, Pisces, Cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leo. What the hell? She doesn't give me Leo.
She doesn't give Leo. Ace definitely gives Leo though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he gives Leo.
Nick.
Oh, no. What about Shelly? Shelly's a Scorpio, right? Don't we already know that?
No, I think Amaya's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Shelly,
Okay.
I could see her being a Libra.
Okay, so Nick is next though, right?
Okay, Nick, I would say
Libra. I have to say Libra. He's such a goofball.
He kind of does give Libra.
He's such a goofball.
Okay, Libra or Gemini?
I'm going Libra or Sagittarius.
Okay.
Pisces. Oh, we suck.
We're not good at this.
We suck. Okay.
Pisces.
Sierra.
Okay, I kind of see Pisces. Sierra.
I feel like she's a Pisces, but maybe not.
Libra or Aquarius.
Are we missing a sign?
We're talking Sierra. I keep mixing up Sierra and Shelly. Okay.
No, Sierra.
Sierra, Leo or Taurus.
I'm going back with the Virgo.
Actually, I'm really feeling Taurus for her.
I'm going Virgo. I'm like Virgo, Aquarius, or Sagittarius.
Okay.
Libra. Did you guess Libra?
I think I did, right?
I don't know.
We forgot. See, I forgot that fast. I was really feeling Taurus. I don't know if I said something in Taurus. Anyway, okay, she's Libra.
Yeah.
Olandria.
Is she a Scorpio?
I
know either Shelly or Olandria.
It's Amaya.
Scorpio. No,
Amaya's
I
Scorpio.
think there's another one. I thought there was another one.
Okay, Olandria, Aquarius.
I'm going Scorpio or Capricorn.
Okay, I'll go Aquarius or Capricorn.
Gemini. Her and Taylor are both Gemini?
They're the same sign.
Oh, wow.
You know who was also Gemini? Cordell.
He's a Gemini?
Yeah. And Serena's a Libra.
Those go, though. Those, like,
The
those
Gemini, interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So Taylor, we already said Gemini. Okay, so now on to Ace. And we
all
already
right,
know
Leo.
Yeah, we already know.
Leo. Wait. I want to talk about Taylor a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
The whole conversation about like Taylor is not attracted to Black women actually really annoys me because they use like trying to use micro expressions to prove that he's not attracted to Olandria. They also will say like he had a white girl in his prom pictures. He grew up in Oklahoma. Are we really shocked? I don't think that doesn't mean he doesn't like Black women. Like he went to college and joined a Black Greek letter organization, like to just, I don't know. And people do it under the guise of trying to protect Olandria. Like, get away from me. He doesn't really like you. But it's like the way that y'all say it, it's like y'all don't think he could like her.
They speak about it the same way that they talked about Smoke and Annie. Where it just seems like, Smoke couldn't like her for whatever reason.
It's because you're anti-black.
Right.
It's because you're anti-black. Literally. And like it's showing that they're still have a connection. Like I feel like if she got that vibe from him, she would stop. Like it wouldn't be all that.
This was my thing.
And him calling her bro too. Like I call my husband bro.
She sat him down and said, "Hey, I don't feel secure in this, couple." And then he said, "Okay, I'm gonna do some things to change it." Fast forward, she's talking about being a farm wife.
Exactly.
Fast forward, she's talking about going home if you leave. As if there could be nothing else that would come into this villa that, would change your mind. Like,
exactly.
Girl, there's obviously something that we're missing. We don't know this girl's favorite color. We don't know her favorite movie. All we know is she from Alabama and she like country men. There's obviously something that they are not showing us.
She messing with Taylor.
And she keeps saying, I feel like you stimulated my mind. We ain't seen the stimulation yet.
But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because even when the episode where after the recoupling, when Huda was almost voted off, when she went to go talk to when Iris got with Jeremiah picked Iris, Huda was Taylor was holding Olandria and Huda's hand walking toward the thing. Him and Olandria let go of hand. But remember, I told you, I was like, did Huda not let go of his hand? But then we like slowed it down and it's like their fingers were just too intertwined. Which is like, why were y'all holding hands like that? But whatever.
I don't see a problem with that.
I feel like Huda gravitates towards Taylor when she needs comforting. Because even when they were both standing up there, like she's really hugging him, like all up on him, and it's like, girl, get off him. But anyway, people use that.
I think she might have really built a bond with Taylor for a little bit because Taylor and Huda were both single at the same time. Like they were.
I could see that. I also just feel like that's who she would like. Those are the people that she would go to who like, because do you remember when Huda went to go talk to everybody and the only people that didn't leave were Taylor and I think Nick left. Nick and Sierra left. And then Hannah and Pepe left. And then it was Taylor and I think Amaya who stayed. And so she was like just talking about it. But I feel like he's a good like listening ear. But anyway, I say all that to say like those are the reasons that people are saying like Taylor doesn't like Olandria, the white girl in the prom pictures, bruh, Oklahoma. They're saying his body language. Like it's like y'all are looking for stuff. Y'all are looking for
reasons.
Not even just reasons. Y'all are looking for like validation or like to validate your claims that he doesn't like her. And it's like, bruh. It would be way more obvious. Yeah. If he didn't like her. And now people are trying to say like he really want Huda. Are you kidding me?
I don't think nobody want Huda.
Exactly. So yeah, but that's my top couple right now. Olandria and Taylor.
I voted for them.
Me too.
Favorite two people.
Yeah. Ace. Ace
Boogie.
Ace. I like Ace.
I have a vendetta against like short men, so they always rub me the wrong way. So I'm just like, they just feel so slimy to me. So I mean, he seems nice. So
I think that he is very aware of things, and I feel like that comes out in the conversations he has, how he navigates being in the villa, all those things. Like he not just dilly-dallying there. Like I think he's very intentional. But I think the reasons that people don't like him, I don't feel that. Like they're like, oh, he's playing Shelly. I don't feel like he was playing Shelly, or they're like he's upset that him and Huda not together, so that's why he got something against Jeremiah and Huda. And I'm like, I think he just really didn't like the dynamic because the dynamic's weird. Like I don't think anybody liked their dynamic, but I also think he is very like, this is not how the game's supposed to be played. Like it's supposed to be like this, and that they're venturing from it is like, yo, this is BS. Like he called it out. I feel like he's very like upfront with how he feels about things. Yeah. So, but I don't think him and Shelly like are trying to like win the game. Yeah. Like I don't think they were a couple. People were saying they were married.
Yeah, that was so
like y'all
crazy.
Are not.
And it was all just because someone
theories.
Posted an Instagram post with a blacked out screen in white letters, and people just ran with it. Yeah, people are saying that Ace and Shelly are married, and then all their family came out was just like, no. Just no. Because do you understand how hard it would be for them to get First of all, marriage isn't something that you can really just like hide.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like hide it just to get onto a show.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the chance of them both getting casted at the same time
out of
on the
thousands of people.
Out of thousands of people, that's really fucking hard. But it does seem like that they did cast people who all kind of did like.
I feel like this is a very influencer season.
Yeah,
like people will follow each other.
They all followed each other. Like Amaya,
but you can't draw conclusions from that.
No.
I'm people all the time. No, I'm not saying you. I'm talking about people in general. Like people will say like, oh, they follow each other. Like I think Ace follows Huda. Like all that
and
stuff.
Her
and
pictures.
It's like the way social media is now. Like you can absentmindedly like people's stuff. Like all that kind of stuff. So I feel like
Huda is a fitness influencer, so it's like he really could just be liking her pictures because of like the workouts,
right?
Like it may not be because I really liked it.
And he'd be like, he knows she has a daughter. I don't read people's captions for real, like especially if it's long AF. I'm also, like, I'm not reading that.
Also, I don't like. I actually did know who Huda was. Like I realized that I actually did have some of her like workouts saved, but even watching the show, I did not realize that I had like some of her stuff saved. I liked some of her posts. Like he probably doesn't even realize who that girl is.
Like on social media, you see so many people all the time, especially if you're on TikTok. It's a new person every single skip.
And then sometimes you're seeing like the same people, but like you just like it and you just like move on.
Ace is playing the game how it's supposed to be played. Like everyone is so upset that he didn't like choose Shelly to couple up with. And like him choosing Amaya and stuff like that. And I'm just like, if we really want Love Island to be Love Island, instead of like, if every couple did what Jeremiah and Huda did from the jump, it would be boring.
Yes and no, because I mean, that is what Serena and Cordell did. They were coupled up from the beginning.
But I mean, like coupled up and it's like, we're doing everything where it's like nobody is even trying to approach us. I feel like Cordell and Serena were still having like conversations with other people and stuff like that.
Yeah, her and Janae got into like a little spat because she pulled Miguel. But
they was getting fingered in the bed.
Huh?
Like how, like I'm talking about Jeremiah and Huda. I'm saying if every couple this season, like if Ace immediately got with Shelly, if Sierra and Nick, like if every couple was just super exclusive and it was hard to get in, and then because then it's like, what's the point of the bombshells and what's the point of like the dynamic? Like people want to see a story.
I still just thought it was still a weird thing. But see, that's what I'm talking about. That felt like story producing on his part because it was like, on Ace's part, because like it was clear that he did not really like Amaya like that. As soon as he picks her, and then he's like, well, now that like Austin has said something that yes, Amaya is very touchy-feely, right? As soon as the recoupling, Ace does the recoupling, he's like, let's chill on the physical thing, right? But if you know that something like, if being physical isn't something that you want, why pick the person that is really physical?
I think
when you don't have to, like you can pick you can pick Shelly and still explore your option with Amaya, because Ace did pick Shelly at first, and then Yalissa kissed him and then stole him like day one. Yeah. So it's just like, was there really any harm in picking Shelly?
I think that
it felt like story producing on his part.
I feel like with Amaya, I think if it's okay saying why if you don't like physical touch, pick this person. I really think he thought he was going to be able to have a calm conversation with her and been like, hey, this is kind of boundary for me. If we could like chill on that would be great. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I get that. Like da-da-da. Instead of how it spiraled out of control. Like I don't think when you're trying to communicate something to someone, you imagine like at all times like a blow up or something like that. So I don't know about like his intentions, but I feel like he was still like keeping it open and exploring. Because even when he was talking to Nick and he's like, oh, now that y'all slept together, it comes with all these things. I think he just is like aware, like, okay, if I couple up with Shelly now, this is probably what it's going to look like. As opposed to if I couple up with her, I can still have a conversation with Shelly. I can still explore and not like, lock it down and like, that's it.
But my thing is like, if physical touch is such a boundary for you, I put the boundaries in my hands. It's not your job to I'm not going to say it's not your job to respect my boundaries. It is something nice, but like my boundaries are my boundaries. I have to protect my boundaries, right? Mm-hmm. So What I'm going to do is I am going to explore you, but the boundary that I'm going to put up to make sure that we are not as physical is as I'm going to couple up with somebody else so that way I can explore you. I don't have to sleep in the bed with you because one that's going to be like, that's going to be the way that like I make sure that we are not physical. I'm not sleeping in the bed with you, which eventually he does go to soul ties. So it's kind of like I'm going to put the boundaries in my hands so that way I can control like how much you touch me, how much you don't touch me, like how much we talk, how much we don't talk. So that way I can be coupled up with this other person.
When he when Huda said something to him about like, oh yeah, I know you don't like to be touched after like high-fiving him or something weird. So that to me feels like he's spoken. I think that was just our first time hearing that he's spoken about like that boundary before is what it seemed like. And I feel like he would have had to express that boundary to her, even if he coupled up with Shelly. Because it's like, okay, say we're having conversations, say she's around me, whatever. If this is how she is, which Austin is saying, like, and it seems to be like, okay, this is how she is, then you don't want people touching you. And he's communicated, under the assumption he's communicated that with the villa already. She was the next person for him to communicate that to. He didn't do it earlier, so maybe like that, there's something to be said about that. But I don't, I think like I said, I think he's aware. I also think he's intentional. So yeah, it could be as simple as that. Like he just wanted to keep the storyline going, but to that extent, I don't think he's like this like mastermind.
Yeah, I don't think he's a mastermind, but I think he kind of didn't want to keep the like invisible string chase theory going. But I don't think that he was expecting for a recoupling of like all of the couples to take so long, because technically they should have had one.
Yeah.
But it took him like, what, 2 weeks or a week to get back to Shelly? So it was just kind of like, yeah.
All right. Shelly. My favorite girl who just be saying anything. She really be saying anything.
She's giving us nothing but face.
Her saying that TJ is fine as fuck. Girl, get out.
I'm questioning.
Not get out, but now I'm side on you. What do you mean by that? But also I'm like, I think it was a full sentence because sometimes the producers will like add a clip from a confessional and place it somewhere else.
It's a voiceover.
A voiceover.
They use it like a voiceover.
Yeah. But yeah, Shelly, what do we know about her?
Nothing. We don't know anything about any of these people.
We do.
Everything that we know about these people, we kind of gather from like social media. Like we know Ace, like influencer, dancer, kind of like we know that of him, but like we don't know these people at all at this point.
I feel like they only show Shelly when she's talking about Austin or Ace. Like
literally.
Who is Shelly? Even her reactions to like certain things, like I feel like we saw more when like they were all in the like daybed kind of area and when Huda was working out. And like I feel like that's probably some of the most we've seen Shelly talk. That and her twerking on Meg. But it's like she still like and that she's bi. So it's like, give us more of Shelly. We want more Shelly.
That's why she twerked on Meg.
Yeah. But she seemed really cool though.
She's gay. It's like, no.
Her and Sierra kissing, that was hilarious. Sierra was like, I just been waiting.
She said, I've been waiting to get my hands on that girl.
Oh my gosh. Sierra's hilarious.
I love that for her. Amaya
Papaya.
I love her. So ditzy. Don't have
two thoughts in her brain. Did you look up her?
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure she's a Scorpio. And did we do Shelly?
Okay, yeah, we have to look up Shelly. Shelly's zodiac sign. What are we guessing? I think she's a Scorpio.
I think she is actually Sag.
I'm going Scorpio, Sag, or Aquarius. Virgo! Damn, we suck.
We're not good at this, y'all.
We're not good at this. Okay.
We aren't. And Amaya, Scorpio. I'm pretty sure she's Scorpio.
Okay, yeah. I'll say Amaya, Scorpio. Yeah, she's a Scorpio.
Her.
Yeah.
She, I like how, I feel like different interactions, we get a fuller picture of her. Like when she first pressed Shelly, it kind of was like, whoa, like she's pressing Shelly. Like it kind of contributed to the narrative of like, oh, she's a lot. She be doing too much. Mm-hmm. But then when she pressed Huda, after Huda talked to Jeremiah, it was like, oh, okay, she's just a very confrontational person. And like, that's okay.
And I loved her. And she said, that was really inappropriate.
Really inappropriate.
Because it so was. Like, I'm so glad somebody said something to her about... No, it was when she pulled Pepe.
No. Because she said it's inappropriate. We just sent someone home. It's inappropriate for you to talk to Jeremiah after we just sent someone home because of saving you stuff. Yeah.
You're right, you're right.
So she speaks her mind. She is very like... It seemed like she's a very like... affectionate person who's like very touchy and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, if Ace or Austin, that don't mean she can't find somebody. She just needs to find somebody like on the same type of time because she does go there fast. Like in that challenge, like her and Austin, it was like they're all on each other.
She said something about kids.
Yeah.
And it was like, Austin was like, no. He's like, shut that down.
But she did say earlier, like when things are going too good in a relationship, she just she likes toxicity. Mm-hmm. So it's like
Austin isn't the guy for her. They just they just only have one brain cell and they just enjoy rubbing their brain cells against each other because their conversations sound like they both just learn how to speak English.
It's just two dumb bitches saying exactly.
Yeah. It's not even they're not even saying she's exactly. They're saying yeah.
I do think Austin should have been more open to communicating with her that some of the things that she's doing he's not okay with. She literally opened the door for it. Mm-hmm. Whereas Ace just talked about it. Amaya opened the door for it. So it's like, oh, okay, you do like this and things are fine. As opposed to, hey, I'm actually kind of feeling like maybe this might be too much for me or if we could start from here. Stuff like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Austin, I'm ready for him to go. Because he was so weird about like the Shelly situation. Him picking Shelly during that milk challenge too. I was like, leave her alone.
He's just a freaky.
He's freaky. Like he really want Ariana Maddox during that that challenge when they were in the leather and like I think something's happened to Jeremiah and you could just see Austin like this. That is hilarious. But I don't think, and then he like speaks from a place of jealousy. Like when he was talking mess about, he was trying to come for Jeremiah, but he was talking mess about Ace, and you could just tell Jeremiah's kind of like your intention seems to just be upset at Ace. Like this attack on Ace, this is not an attack on Ace, like type. But I feel like him and Jeremiah have grown closer because he's been like Jeremiah been isolated from like the other people, and Austin don't care. Like I don't think Huda and Austin talk.
No.
Yeah, like at all.
Huda.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Did we guess Austin's? I feel like Austin might be a Leo. What'd you think?
Aries, maybe.
He gives me definitely right fire sign. Okay. I feel like Leo. Capricorn. Damn, we suck. We suck. But
you know, also, I'm not going to say we suck. I'm going to say the producers suck. They showing us parts we can't get
we don't
the
know
full picture of them.
About them.
Exactly. So not our fault.
Okay.
Not taking accountability, just like Huda.
So I don't even like Huda.
There's just so much to say. She's not a girl's girl. Like she's sneaky, manipulative.
She's a love bomber. She's emotionally abusive.
She hate her kid. She's not a good mother. Oh, is that too mean to say?
Yeah, that is.
All right. So I'm only saying that from the fact that she left her for 6 weeks with no contact. That just seems wild to me. I can't imagine if, like, as a parent, I get you want to find love. But if she come from a place of like, I'm trying to win $100,000 for my family, it's like those challenges where it's like, okay, the hypotheticals where it's like, I just saw one the other day where it was like, you and your partner don't talk for a year and you get $100 million. So maybe it's like, oh, I don't talk to my child for 6 weeks and I could possibly earn $100,000.
But also, if
we're in a recession.
But also, like, maybe she just want a break from her fucking kid because, like, she also had a pandemic baby.
But 6 weeks of no contact.
Girl, my mama used to send me away for the summer to be with, like, my dad and my people in them. And I can't actually tell you when I talk to my mom.
But I feel like that's a different, like, era. Like, there's, like, how the phones work, like, social media, all this other stuff.
Some people just aren't that attached to their kid. Like, I mean, like, I know, like, my mom loved me. Like, I still live with her. But, like, when I was sent away for the summers, I was sent the fuck away. And I couldn't tell you what my mama was doing back home.
Because we were, X and I were talking about like being in the villa and stuff like that. And if it was like, if you're telling me you have a child, my first thought is, oh, you left them for this? But that's just me.
I mean, like, if I'm sending my kid away for the summer, shit, I might as well just go ahead and, like, you know, go all in and had a, you know, the best summer I possibly can. And then maybe she's like, you know, I'm probably not even looking to stay the whole time. I'm just, like, looking to have a good time, like, while I'm there. And then, like, of course, like, if she gets there, she obviously, her experience is completely different. But I don't necessarily I don't have strong opinions about her, like, necessarily leaving her child for 6 weeks. I'm just like, it's 6 weeks.
I don't think as a single mother, you can't find love or you have to restrict yourself to a certain degree where it's like your only identity is of a mother. But I do think like just the implications that come with Love Island, like there's a look to it. Like if people know you can't contact your child for this amount of time, and all this other stuff. And also if your way of going, because there's that guy was on Love Island who had a kid. And so I don't think, maybe it's not anything inherently wrong with that, but just like her hiding the fact that she has a child. When she talked to Jeremiah about having a child and like she was trying to explain like who the child is as a person. She was like, oh, she's like me. She likes sports. She's like this, which kind of gave me the feeling of like, she's trying to get Jeremiah like, really open to the yeah,
but I feel like I just feel like Huda is just on the wrong show as far as like what she is looking for, especially since like her being a mother is such a big deal for her. It's obvious that she just isn't looking for some summertime fling, and that she is looking for something that's like really permanent and somebody that is willing to like also have a relationship with her daughter. And no man that is going on Love Island whose only responsibility before he got on that show was his car, his apartment, and his fucking social media page is looking to become a stepfather once he leaves that villa. And like maybe there's just somebody that like, oh, I'm just not afraid of kids. It's not like maybe I have talked to a girl with kids before, but it's just like just from what we know about Love Island, don't go looking for a stepdaddy for your kid on that show.
I think even Married at First Sight or Love is Blind wouldn't be the right show for her. Maybe she just don't need to be on the show because I feel like looks are very important to her. Like that aspect of it.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
I don't
like
think so.
Like her and Jeremiah look good.
Jeremiah look good, but TJ don't, and she was all over TJ.
She on some. She was talking to Pepe too. Like I feel like her talking to them, that was on some like, okay, I need to find something else to do. I don't think she's actually attracted to them.
There have been men that have come forward that were like, that show pictures like, yeah, I dated Huda, and it's just some guy. Like, I don't think she has the type.
I haven't seen those.
I think her type is XY chromosome.
I don't think she's going for any dude, to be honest.
I do.
But I do think that...
And mind you, the dude was like Hispanic.
Because every time somebody would come from...
her baby daddy is like Hispanic or something.
Every time somebody would like essentially come in the villa that she thought like a bombshell, she like that was like Amaya and Andreina. She was like, when they would go to Jeremiah, she's like, I knew it. I knew they were his type. I knew they were his type. I know, like, I don't know. I think she thinks about type so much.
Jeremiah is just a good looking dude, period. Yeah. Like, he's just good looking. So I don't think that like Jeremiah is necessarily her type. I just think that he's a good looking dude in the villa. But TJ, the way that she was really trying to flirt with TJ.
I think she was just being desperate. I really don't think she's attracted to him.
I feel like that's how she is in real life.
Oh, so you're just saying like with dudes in general?
I just think that's how she is with men in general. I just think she'll like anybody that she thinks that she can get on.
Well, if she goes to Casa, we'll see what happens. But I think Huda is very she was a love bomber. I don't think Jeremiah was the love bomber. Because looking back at the stuff that he did, like, I feel like I want to bring like a mental health professional on this podcast so they could really explain what love bombing is and all that other stuff. Like, I really like, there is an intent behind it that comes with like manipulation, all this other stuff. And if you look at the actions, it looks like Huda did that to Jeremiah as opposed to the other way around. Yeah.
So now just to explain a little bit of like Love Island production, because they are a show that comes on every day, they have tons of producers on that show. They probably have like a team of like maybe just 100 producers between like executive all the way down to like assistant producers, and I'd even say like production assistant. It's probably like hundreds of like producers assistants like on that damn show.
Question: what is a producer? Like what do producers do?
Produce.
So what exactly does a producer on a show like Love Island do?
So first you have multiple producers, but the like head producers in charge are your executive producers, and your executive producers are in charge of all of the functions of every other producer. So kind of like they are head of production, but they really just make sure that like the show at the end of the day gets done. Executive producers aren't involved in the day-to-day of the show.
Okay.
They're involved in the series, like the entire series of itself.
Okay.
So that's your executive producers, and they also are like the money. They make sure that like all the money is kind of like there, that way like the show can be put out. Your art producer produces all of the art. So all of like the LED signs, all of the pillow. Well, that goes into set design. So your art producer will work with like set design, like interior design, things like that. But they produce like all of the art, like everything that is like visually aesthetic, like aesthetically pleasing in the villa. They handle all of that.
Okay.
So you know how in the challenge they had those doors that they had to walk through? Our producer designed that.
Okay.
And our producer made sure that like they had the right material for the doors and like the platforms and the locks and the paint. Like I don't know if you could tell, but like the paint was chipping on like the door handles. Probably because like they just needed to like just spray paint it just to make sure that like the colors all looked right and that it wasn't like silver or something like that. So your art producer thinks about things like that. Your challenge producer produces all of the challenges, all them nasty ass challenges that we be seeing. So a challenge producer,
we need to find who that person is. It's giving Dan Schneider.
The challenge producer might work with the art producer, is going to work with the art producer to make sure that like, okay, they're going to do this challenge. Can you set up all the props? Yeah. Can you make all the props to get everything done? Now, story producer is who everyone is like when we're talking about editing and like storylines and stuff like that, that's story producer's job. So your story producer is in charge of the narrative and the story that is going on, but they really handle that like after everything has been shot.
Yeah.
So they might be like first or second to see raw footage, and they're kind of like, well, it depends. I don't know the actual story producer's methods. They might like be involved in filming. They might say, okay, like, let's make sure that, like, cameras are on Huda and, like, Jeremiah. Yeah. And then, you know, they will go into their, the editor's room, and they're like, okay, you see this, cut out this conversation between Nick and Olandria and focus on or not Nick and Olandria, but Taylor and Olandria. Yeah. And then, like, let's focus on what Huda's, like, facial expressions are instead of Taylor's, like, expressions, like, looking at, like, Olandria. Yeah. So, like, they might, like, feed into, like, the different narratives and things like that.
So there are a lot of moving parts.
There are a lot of moving parts, and it is just not up to one person.
Yeah. So when people are like, "Oh, production did this, it's like so general. Like
it's very general, but production itself is not general at all. But like you do have producers, like I said, like challenge producer, art producer, story producer, probably all working together. Yeah. To like the story producer might work with the challenge producer because they're like, okay, we have to get this like this challenge. So that way we can like enhance this one narrative. Yeah. So like, and then, you know, you also have like writers and things like that who might really help with that. You also have like voiceover producers, which I think that's what Ian is on the show. Like the voice that we hear, I think he's a voiceover producer. So yeah, that's kind of production, but did just want to make it known, production cannot involve themselves in elimination because it is illegal. So the story producer is who like most people are kind of like talking about when they're like, oh, I think production got involved in like the elimination. The story producer cannot do that. No producer can do that because that is illegal. Because
of the nature of the show.
Yes, because the show at the end of the day has like money involved in it. Yeah. You can't do
it. $100,000 on the line.
It's $100,000 and you cannot just be telling somebody to not vote for somebody because, you know, of whatever.
U.S. Code, 47 U.S. Code, Section 509. It's the contents of it is prohibited practices and contests of knowledge, skill, or chance. So it says that it's unlawful for any person with intent to deceive the listening or viewing public, which is us, to supply any contestant with like any kind of knowledge or special treatment that could assist them by means of like persuasion, bribery, intimidation, or otherwise induce or cause a contestant to like have that knowledge, to engage in any kind of like scheme for the purpose of prearranging or predetermining the outcome of, you know, like in this situation, like Islanders going home, like who they decide to recouple with, things like that, or to conspire with like anyone else. So because it's a contest, and there's a prize at the end, the prize being $100,000, the producers can't, like they can, like you're saying, the story producer like can show us certain, like can choose what footage they're going to show us, but they can't like directly involve themselves like with the contestants, like with the Islanders, telling them who to vote for or who to recouple with. They can keep them apart. And like how Leah was saying, like they kept her and Miguel apart. They can like even them keeping Jeremiah from talking to Huda when she went into the hallway, because he apologized to her and he was like, sorry, I couldn't come do that. The only reason he couldn't come do that is if he literally could not do it. Like they didn't allow him to. But in terms of like giving them any like special knowledge that could like help them win or something like that, like that's against the law. And I'm pretty sure they have a huge team of attorneys that is like making sure stuff can go as planned to a certain degree. Because, you know, after the show, and not even just this show, like the contestants be suing and they're like, oh, like you did this, you know, all that stuff.
I was about to say, and your story producer might also tell you to go and talk to somebody. Like half the time that they're pulling people for chats, that's probably the story producers going like, hey, go pull that person for a chat.
Yeah.
But like that isn't supposed to impact the outcome of like eliminations and things like that.
Right. So I did think that Ace chose like to stand behind Huda. I'm like, because he seemed really upset about that.
He was pissed.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe that wasn't his choice. But he explained it in the next episode that, you know, he didn't feel like Jalen would. Ace is very much so like, I don't feel like you playing this game properly, you out of here.
Yeah.
So that's why it wasn't the producers that told Ace to stand behind Huda. Like they can't do that.
Yeah.
But remember the time like all them broke? It's been a lot of breaking the fourth wall that they're showing us. I'm like, if there's so much footage and there's such limited like what you could put in, why are y'all showing us that? Like, why are y'all showing us all of them turning around to look at the camera?
That could have just been an accident. Or like sometimes like even when like I'm editing this, I'm like if we like do something, I'm kind of like, damn, I have to leave this in there because if I don't leave this in there, then the next thing isn't gonna make sense.
Yeah.
So they literally
like continuity
like the next camera angle or like the next like thing, it just won't make sense. So it's just like, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna move into talking about contract and like kind of like contract laws, because people have been wondering about like, you know, the Love Island contracts and what can and can't be put in there. So a contract is a legally binding agreement between two or more parties that creates mutual obligations enforceable by law. So if you go to law school, you're going to know, and you have to take a class for contracts. In a contract, there has to be offer, acceptance, and consideration. There are more things, like a valid contract requires like all those things, but also like capacity. Like all parties have to be able to know what they're entering into, and also legality. So each of those elements play a very important role. So first you need offer, which is like a clear proposal made by one party to another, indicating the willingness to participate, to enter into a contract. So it must be definite and communicated to the other party. Acceptance from the other party, you need them to accept the terms of the offer. It has to be unequivocal to the party at the time that it was made.
Okay, question.
Yes.
What makes a contract legally binding though? Because like, you know how like when you have all these like Instagram stylists kind of like, you know, scamming, but like at the end of the day, you signed up on their website or like you agreed to their terms and their conditions. Is that not a contract?
It is a contract.
But is it legally binding?
It is legally binding. Like those, like you don't even need, it doesn't even need to be on paper for a contract to be legally binding. Like you could hold somebody like to their word. So because people think that gets them out of something. Like, no, like somebody could hold you to a contract you made that was just verbal. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So, you need consideration. But,
I'm sorry.
No,
one more thing. What about if there's something illegal in the contract?
Yeah. So there has to be like if there is like an unethical like part of the contract, like there's somewhere where there's like a list of things like you can't include in a contract. I think they just got rid of no compete clauses in like law firms or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but if it's something that's like unethical, you can't put that inside of a contract. Like it won't, like you can put it in, but if you try to get the court to like make the other person like do the action, they're not going to do it. Like some things in a contract can't be like when it gets into ethics and stuff like that, like it's not legally binding. But yeah, so you need offer. So I'm gonna make the offer. The other party accepts it, and then you need consideration. And consideration is something of value exchanged between the parties, such as a promise, an act, or forbearance. So in this situation, there's a contract between Love Island and the Islanders. There's a bunch of stuff in that contract, but bless you. The people of, I guess, Love Island who gives out the contract and the Islanders that sign it, like the Love Island's giving them what the stay, they're paying them. That's what Love Island is giving them. The Islanders are given their participation, maybe certain rights to use like their name and stuff like that. But there needs to be consideration. If there isn't consideration, it's not a contract. Like both parties have to be giving something. It has to be mutually beneficial to both parties for the contract to be binding. There also has to be like, the mutual intent. So if somebody is like not in their right state of mind, the contract is not legally binding because they don't know what they're getting into. That isn't the same as, you didn't read the fine print. It's up to you to read that fine print. So if you didn't and you still sign a contract, you're supposed to, like, it's you sign a contract, or the court will come from a place of like, you should have read that. Like you had all that, you had all the access to everything that was put in. And it's not like somebody gave you the contract and then right before you signed it, put a paragraph in there about something and you just signed it. That's not the same thing. So yeah, it needs to be the contract's purpose in terms like they must be lawful and they can't violate any existing laws or public policy. So when all of those elements are present, you have a legally binding contract.
Boom.
Yeah. So that's when we get into like conversations about, like the Love Islanders, how they have to be very kind of quiet on social media and not really let people know that they're leaving and stuff like that. More than likely, all of that stuff will be in a contract. And if you
announce it before, then you break your contract and you probably are no longer able to be on the show.
Yeah, and you might owe them money or something like that. And like, who wants to do that?
Who wants to do that?
Yeah, I don't know like the details, but I'm pretty sure a bunch of attorneys went over those contracts, made like with a fine tooth comb
them
to make sure, okay, what can we possibly think of? They probably also add to the contract after every season, after they learn something new, like, okay, maybe something about how the cast of season 6 went about something. They're like, okay, well, let's tweak the contract to make sure they can't or they can do this. Also,
probably no communication on the outside because Kaylor had come out and said that she was communicating with her family using Netflix profiles. She would change the name of the Netflix profiles.
I didn't see that.
They was like, "Hi, mom." She'd be like, "Hey." Like they would like change, like "Miss you," and they would just like change the name of the.
But
Netflix
I thought
profile.
they was that in the.
I'm not. I think
somebody in the villa they just have their phones.
I guess when they were like separated on like days where they would do like no filming or things like that. I can't remember like what she was saying because I did not watch the full clip, but I do remember her saying like while she was in the villa, she was still like contacting her mom. Okay. But I mean, they weren't having like full blown conversations. It was just kind of like, you know, hi, hey, miss you, love you.
And the contracts exist between the Islanders and also people they're bringing on. Like, I want to look at the Megan when Megan Thee Stallion came, like even promoting her swimsuit line, I'm really interested in what that contract was like. I also wonder who reached out to who first. Did Love Island reach out to Meg, or did Meg reach out to Love Island?
I think that had more to do with I think if she does have a contract, I think it has more to do with ITV rather than Love Island itself. Only because she could have a contract with the Love Island franchise, period. But I think she might have had a contract with ITV because of the way that they sold the swimsuits.
Yeah, and it's a collab now.
Yeah,
too.
and it was a collab. But and also her swimsuit line was through Walmart. Yeah. So I would be really interested to see like how that deal like looks on paper, because having a deal with not only just Walmart, having a deal with yourself, Walmart, and then a broadcasting company, that's very interesting.
Yeah, because the swimsuits that they wore were from Walmart. But at the same time, there's also a Megan and Love Island collab swimsuit that's actually on like their website that you could purchase and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I wonder how that would work.
Because I'm assuming that her Walmart collab is mostly her, and that like Walmart is maybe like the distributor of something. Because like I would assume that
it's like your stuff been in like Target or something, or like like that. Like it's her swimsuit, but Walmart is distributing it. Like for Sacred, like Ulta distributes it.
Yeah. Kind of like
or like
that.
Fenty with Sephora.
Yeah, well, Fenty's also in Ulta.
And Ulta.
Yeah. But it's just like you know how like when you have like brands that sell like exclusively, but it's just interesting that also she can partner with anyone else, that she was allowed to partner with anyone else, because it's not like just a partnership.
You mean like her, like their specific swimsuits?
She was allowed to sell their swimsuits on the Love Island website, because usually they would keep that money because Walmart wouldn't get that money.
I don't think her swimsuits aren't on there.
The only the one?
They're on a separate website.
I thought
the Love Island swimsuits are on the Love Island website. Okay, so and they can't say like, oh, you could never do a swimsuit brand with anybody else. Like they can't. No,
not that she was doing a swimsuit brand with somebody else, but that she was selling their swimsuit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So
I'd be really interested just to see like
seriously,
what the Walmart and Megan contract looks like, and how much freedom she has. In their
and I feel like it would be a good amount of freedom.
Because it's also like how Beyonce had Parkwood, because Adidas was distributing that. So it's just kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch Love Island tonight. What do you think is gonna happen tonight? This is the June 22nd
show. Oh yeah, somebody's going home.
Tonight?
I think one guy and one girl are going home tonight.
Oh.
Somebody said it's a Maya.
Somebody said that, and I've been seeing that kind of stuff. And this is how like the miscommunication been spread. They're like, oh, I saw her at the airport. I did this. And I'm like,
I just don't know.
There's no way to validate that.
Because I'm just like, there is.
So I'm like, who would Austin choose? Like, do you think it's a recoupling?
No, it's not a recoupling. So
because we had to vote.
We had to vote on like who our favorite is, and then the least favorite
are vulnerable, but they're not single. They're just vulnerable to being left. To being kicked off the island.
Yes. But I don't know. I think the guys are going to vote for which guy they want to leave, and the girls are going to have to vote for which girl they want to leave.
Dang.
Or it's either going to be vice versa. But either way.
Or everybody votes.
I don't know.
Oh, you think they're going to just sit? They're like, okay, these are the.
I think they're going to split it up.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they're going to split it up.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know.
There's so much to dig into with Love Island. Like, we could go on and on and on, but they talking about closing us out of here. So
yeah, I don't know if is Huda going home? But the thing about it, if Huda's going home, she's already home. Like right now in this moment, whoever went home in this episode,
they're home now.
Is already home.
Yeah, and they just gotta wait to like reveal it to us.
I don't want Huda to go because I want to see the look on her face when she realizes that she's been a disaster. But that's just me.
True.
I'm not that nice of a person.
And the girls are going to Casa, so that should be interesting. We didn't even get into the whole Hannah and Huda and Pepe stuff. Yeah.
We went through all of that to see that girl, like we had to go through that.
We did. It felt draining to watch the show.
We had to go through that, so now she has to go through that, and I want to see her go through that. I want to see her realize what we had to go through.
It's gonna look like every other time something happened, her eyes gonna get red. She gonna start crying.
She like, see, this is how Jeremiah made me feel, and
she cannot take accountability. It'll be very interesting to see if after this she takes any accountability. Like on the reunion, I'm interested to see how like she's gonna act. But it could be like she also could be like PR trained by then, where she's like, okay, like do these things.
You can't PR train somebody that emotionally like, you know, immature, because she's just looking for a reason to make herself a victim.
Yeah.
And part of being, you know, media trained is taking accountability or just shutting the fuck up. I don't think she's capable of doing either.
Thing come out? The you know, the little trailer thing comes out?
Oh shit! It did.
Okay, let's watch it.
Oh my god, we have been yapping. Okay, we're gonna watch the first look.
So one guy and one girl are getting dumped.
It's Huda. Well, I don't know.
Austin and Amaya. Who's the least favorite guy? Austin.
Yeah.
Austin and Amaya or Austin and Huda?
Okay, so here's how the elimination in my eyes is gonna go.
Okay.
There's going to be 2 girls left as bottoms.
Yes.
There's going to be 2 guys left as bottoms.
Okay.
The Islanders are going to have to vote for it. It might be like girls vote for the girls or guys vote for the girls, whoever, which one. I think they might save Huda again. I don't know. But if
Hannah not saving Huda.
Nah, she's not. But they're going to have to come to a consensus. They're going to have to like talk amongst each other and come to one vote.
Yeah.
And then, because I think it's going to be like the elimination that they did with Rob.
Yeah.
But what was her name? Andrea? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But that happened after Casa, I believe.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. No, it didn't. I don't remember.
Andrea didn't go to Casa.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I think the girls are going to vote for like whichever girl, or the guys are going to have to go vote for whichever guy. And it feels like they might just like send Amaya and Austin home.
We're going to see. Well, like, oh, dang. Because they have to say, because I remember Love Island before, they would be like, oh, in no particular order, these are the top 4. But I'm like, how are they going to do it today? Okay, let's just make our prediction. Austin's going home.
It depends on how Huda acts.
It also depends on how the vote goes. Because we just saw. Also, I feel like they're like the Sierra and Nick. I really am not falling for. Like, I really feel like,
for real, you don't like them?
No, I don't like them. I don't fall for like they're on the rocks. Like, because that kind of showed like he's like, oh, I do like Andrea, and I think Sierra was just saying, oh, well, that sucks. Because she said it before, like, oh,
she said,
I
don't like this feeling sucks. And then A said, I told you sex changes everything. I do think that they might go.
But that was in a different scene.
I think they might have a little spat.
Yeah, it might be a little spat, but I don't think it's going to, like, break them.
I'm not falling for that. I don't think sometimes.
I don't think it's a real problem because she's on Jeremiah.
But trailers aren't supposed to make you genuinely think there's a real problem. They're just supposed to get you to watch. I don't really think that like. I don't really think it's going to be that big of a deal. Okay, like, we might see, like, a little spat. But I think they're more so just letting you know that there is going to be, like, a little spat.
Okay, y'all. Well, next time, it's going to be so much time until, like, our next
Y'all probably going to be watching this and be like, they have no idea.
Because obviously, we don't know about the zodiac signs. We don't know anything. Well, actually, we do know stuff. I know about that law contract stuff. She knew about the media production stuff. Mm-hmm. So that maybe we just need to stay in our lanes, but this is good TV, so we're all just guessing. Yeah. I've never been a good guesser anyway. Like, I'm not good at guessing stuff. I'm
good at guessing if I know something about them or if I'm around them. Oh, I'm good at guessing height.
Oh, interesting.
I'm really good at guessing height.
I'm good at guessing if somebody was a fat kid.
For real?
Yeah, because it's like they act a certain way. The person who was like a fat kid and then is attractive, I can always tell. If you grew up ugly, I can tell if somebody grew up ugly.
I can guess if somebody's going to be fat as an adult. Or if somebody, like, after they graduate high school, you know, like around that post high school graduate, if they're going to get fat.
Okay, what about me? Am I going to get fat?
No.
Okay, thanks.
I feel like you're going to gain mommy weight, but I feel like the mommy weight is going to look really good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just about to have my hips and ass going to go crazy.
Yeah, I feel like your mommy weight is going to be insane. I think you get mommy weight. But I feel like you might lose your mom. I think you're going to be one of those people that naturally loses mommy weight.
Yeah.
But, like, still are a little more filled out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I definitely won't be I don't see myself being where I am now unless I go on like some crazy health journey. I'm like I had multiple kids. I'm going to have crazy health journey. Here I am now.
I can see you getting back to where you are now, but like your boobs are going to be bigger and your hips are going to be bigger. But I feel like everything else, like face really like, I feel like a lot of people like really gain weight in like their face. I feel like your face is going to like go back down to, because pregnancy face is insane.
Yeah, my sister had it too. I think I feel like I'm gonna get it. It'll be fine.
Some people don't come back from pregnancy face.
But one of my friends, she's pregnant. I saw her yesterday, and her face kind of looked the same, but it's because like she always had like chubbier cheeks. But no, she looks oh my gosh, she's glowing. She's glowing. She looks beautiful.
My mom, she burned every picture of her that she had.
Oh my gosh.
When she was pregnant with me, because she said she was just so fat and shiny.
Dang. Oh, you know what I can tell? When somebody is bigger than what they're supposed to be. Like it feels like they're pushing against their skin, but in a way that the skin is like, I'm not stretching because you're not supposed to be this big. Or people who are smaller than what they should be, it's like you shouldn't be this small. Like I feel like some people are generally supposed to be they're small.
That's what I mean when like I can tell people who are going to be fat. Like I can tell by like your head and your neck, the way that it fits on your shoulders. It's just like you just haven't grown into your body yet. Yeah. Like you haven't grown into your body, and I can tell.
Yeah, that's how I feel about like old pictures of me when I was like really, really small. I'm like, I felt like so angular.
No, I don't see that at all. You just always look like you fit yourself.
No, during the pandemic, I would say that for like 2020, I started like gaining weight. That's when I started running and stuff. But looking back at like a certain time then, and maybe even last year where I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm starting to get that where it's like I'm getting bigger than what like I'm necessarily supposed to be. But yeah, all I had to do is like cut out alcohol and do more cardio. Because at first I was just doing strength training. And I wasn't doing any cardio. But once I started incorporating cardio, I feel like things were better.
When I was on birth control, like my senior year of high school, like I started gaining weight. I gained like 15 pounds the summer, like in between, like, you know, graduating high school and going to school. And I felt like I looked like how you were talking about. Like I looked like I was pushing against my skin. Like, and then the minute that like I just cut down like how much I was eating, because I was eating a lot of bread because I was working at fucking Panera. So the minute that like I cut all of that out and like went to school, and like the campus was huge, so like I had to like walk everywhere. I lost all that weight so quick.
Yeah. At UCLA, it's hard to gain that freshman 15 because
you have to fucking walk.
Hills upon hills, and your calf's gonna look great.
My freshman year, I was, you know, our dorms are like at the beginning of like our campus, but I was taking communications classes because when I came in, I was a political science major, but then like I loved like, you know, being in the communications building, taking all of those classes so much. This is before I switched my major. So I was going from like the front of the campus, walking all the way to the back, but like, it's not just like, it's just in the back. It's a long ass walk. Like the only thing that's further than my building is the engineering building, but they are still kind of like somewhat close together. It was so fucking far. I was hiking every day at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Dang. And you know, walking is really good exercise. Yeah. I still got to get that, the ring tracker, because I don't want to do Apple Watch anymore. I would just like to have just a ring.
I only use my Apple Watch when I travel, like out of state, because I'm like, I need to like know where I'm going. Like I need to like actually know, look at my phone, or like look at like, because you know service is really weird, like depending on like where you are. So but like I feel like I get like just enough service to like, you know, track, like my GPS and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I can like track myself.
Yeah. But yeah, like we said, there's so many conversations, subplots and all sub-conversations that are happening about Love Island. So we'll see what happens next time. Y'all will see us. But yeah, I hope you got your dose of lore.
Your dose of lore. All right, guys. We've had so much fun. We will see you next time.
Can't wait to see you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.